Hello friends, in this video I'm going to tell you about an example for a question that is what is object oriented programming and how is it different from procedure oriented programming. So here it is. I have taken it from the book of EVM. So the answer will be like here it is, object oriented programming O is an approach to program organization and development that attempts to eliminate some of the pitfall of conventional programming methods by incorporating the best feature of structured programming with several powerful new concepts. And it is a new way of organizing and developing programs and is not related to any particular programming language. However, not all programming languages are suitable to implement the OOP concept easily. So, next is for just understanding it, it is just an overview. You can't write it in the exam. So that is the Lego city model. We have imagine building a city using Lego blocks, just the little blocks. So each building object has its own blueprint, or we can say the class, internal attributes, and behavior that are methods. You do not need to know how each building is constructed, you just interact with it. So in this model, we just need to just see the overview. Next is what are the core concepts uses in the O. So the first one is class. We can just say that it is the blueprint for creating objects, and then another is objects, which are also the we can in the short we say that it is the instance of a class. Next one is encapsulation. In the encapsulation, we see that we just find a bundling data and methods together, wrapping of the data. That is called the encapsulation. And in the inheritance, we reusing the code by inheriting from other classes, just by from the parents classes to the children classes. We usually use it. And the next one is polymorphism. So we have the same method and name or behavior. This the same method name behaves differently based on context, where we see usually overriding and overloading. And in the abstraction, we see hiding internal details and exposing only essential feature. The ATM is one of the most beautiful example of it, and where we just only see the above essential features, but don't know how is it all happening. Next one is dynamic binding, where the process of linking a function call to the code to be executed at runtime. And the another one is message passing, where the process by which objects communicate with each other by sending and receiving message. And what are the languages which supports OOPs are Java, C++, Python, CH. These all this support or can, in these languages we can use the concept of OOPs. So here is just a little bit of uh, in how they are benefits the benefits of object-oriented programming. That is, the first one is code reusability. There's that all these details I have put there in the short forms. You can just increase it by more details. The first one is code reusability, and through inheritance, existing classes can be reused, which reduces duplicate code. Means code reusability only it refers to the inheritance where we use the code of parents in our children classes just by taking inheritance. And another one is faster development, where we see programs can be built using reusable modules instead of writing everything from scratch, saving timing and increasing productivity. The other one is better security. Better security in the sense of encapsulation, it's data hiding and it's protect the data from unauthorized access by other parts of the program. By the help of encapsulation, if your program is protected, the other classes and your own in your own classes other part of the program could not be able to just access it. So This was encapsulation. And in multiple objects, you can create also many instances of a classes, and with this they can exist at the same time, and they could not interfere with each other without interfering. The other one is real world modeling. In the OOPS, that is a very big advantage that OOPS object in program can closely represent real world entities, making programs easier to design as well as understand. And the other one is easy project management. Work in project can be divided based on objects, making teamwork easier. Better design representation. The data center design help capture the details of real world models more effectively. And the other one is scalability. Object-oriented system can easily be expanded from small programs to large systems. And in the scalability, we mainly see that how can a program could be able to handle as the programs is growing from a small to large. And simple communication between object, message passing allow objects to communicate easily, simplifying system interaction and other things. Reduce complexity, we see that to help manage complex software system more efficiently. So these were all the benefits. And here is some characteristics exhibited by procedure-oriented programming. That's the first one is emphasis on doing things, the algorithms. And large programs are divided into smaller programs known as functions, since the procedure-oriented programming mainly works on the function. Most of the functions share global data. That is also, in some terms, it is its disadvantage. Data moves openly around the system from function to function, and function transform data from one form to another, and it employs a top-down approach in program paradigm, program design. And, just understand it from the just a little bit of example, the recipe book model. In imagine cooking a dish using a recipe, you follow a series of steps. That is, series of steps is your function, and each manipulating uh, ingredients that add the data. The focus is on how things are done, not what they represent. And what are the core concepts there? The functions that block a code that perform the task, global data which is shared across the function, and it is a top-down approach as well. I start from main function and breaks it into the smaller task, and no data hiding is there, and all data is accessible, making it less secure since when the data will be um, accessible to everyone, everyone could access it, everyone could change it from the initial to the final. And language supported by POOP, uh, procedure oriented programming are C, Pascal, Fortran, Basic. And the next is the comparison between all this. That is the features. Feature of POOP, the first one is in the sense of structure. It's POOP is function structure, and OP is object and classes, and the approach is here the top down in procedure, and object oriented having bottom up. Data security is there is no data hiding in the procedure oriented, while uh, object oriented has encapsulation and access control. Visibility of code is very less, that is limited in the procedure oriented programming, while in the object oriented programming we use there is a high visibility by the inheritance and polymorphism. Real modeling in the procedure-oriented abstract, while OOP is natural and intuitive. Maintenance is harder to modify in the procedure-oriented, while easier to extend and maintain in object-oriented. And focuses are in the procedure-oriented that are based on procedures, while in the object-oriented data and behavior. So that was all about what are the benefits and how is it all different from the procedure oriented is just different from object oriented. So thank you for saying it. Thanks.